I used to think drinking 8 glasses of plain water a day was enough. I was wrong. And that ignorance kept my body in chronic inflammation for years. Then I discovered the water method of Dr. Hiromi Shinya, the gastroenterologist who invented colonoscopy and looked inside the stomachs of over 300,000 patients. He saw what most doctors never will. I changed how I drank water, not what I drank, no pills, no supplements. Within weeks, my inflammation markers plummeted. My doctor was stunned. The secret isn't the water itself. It's the enzyme preservation protocol hiding in plain sight. And I'm about to show you exactly how to rescue yours. Before we go deeper, I need to ask you something. Type yes in the comments if you've ever felt bloated after meals, or that strange afternoon fatigue that hits you for no reason. Because what I'm about to explain will make everything click. Dr. Shinya spent 40 years studying the inside of human digestive systems. And what he discovered shocked even him. He called it the miracle enzyme. Think of your body like a battery. Not a battery that stores electricity, but one that stores these invisible workers called enzymes. Every single thing your body does, digesting food, repairing a cut, fighting a virus, clearing brain fog, it all runs on enzymes. You're born with a certain amount of enzyme potential, and every day, every meal, every stress, you're either preserving that battery or draining it. Most people drain it without knowing. And the fastest way to drain it? The way you drink water. Here's where Western medicine gets it completely backwards. When you feel sick, doctors treat the symptom. Stomach pain, here's an antacid. High cholesterol, here's a statin. Dr. Shinya treated the root. He believed your cells are constantly thirsty, but instead of giving them what they need, we're drowning them at the wrong time. It's like watering a plant during a rainstorm. You think you're helping, but you're actually causing damage. And this brings us to the biggest mistake almost everyone makes. The mealtime disaster. Picture this. You sit down for dinner. A thick steak on your plate. You take a bite, and immediately, you reach for your glass of ice-cold soda or water. You wash it down. Feels good, right? You just sabotaged your digestion. Here's what's happening inside. Your stomach produces powerful acids and enzymes designed to break down that steak into nutrients your body can use. But the moment you flood your stomach with liquid, especially cold liquid, you dilute those acids. It's like trying to start a fire and pouring water on it at the same time. The enzymes can't do their job. The food sits there, half digested, and begins to ferment. That fermentation creates toxins, gases, and those toxins don't just stay in your gut. They leak through your intestinal walls, a condition researchers now call leaky gut, and enter your bloodstream. Your body has to pull enzymes from everywhere else to deal with this mess. Your skin, your joints, your brain. That's why you feel tired, foggy, or inflamed after eating. Dr. Shinya's fix was radical in its simplicity. No water during meals. Not a sip, not a gulp, nothing. If you're absolutely parched, take the smallest possible sip, just enough to wet your mouth, but ideally, you wait. Wait 30 minutes before eating, and wait at least an hour after. This one shift allows your stomach to maintain the enzyme-rich, acidic environment it needs to properly digest your food. Your body stops wasting enzymes fighting fermentation and starts using them for what they're meant for. Repair, energy, longevity. One of Dr. Shinya's patients told him her chronic bloating disappeared within a week of this single change. No pills, no surgery, just timing. The most important moment in your entire 24-hour day isn't when you step into the gym or sit down for a healthy meal. It's the moment you open your eyes. What you do in those first 15 minutes can either activate your body's regenerative enzymes or leave them dormant for hours. Dr. Shinya called this the golden morning window, and after seeing it work in thousands of his patients, he considered it non-negotiable. Here's what happens while you sleep. Your body shifts into deep repair mode. Cells break down and rebuild, hormones adjust, and your liver and kidneys quietly process the byproducts of metabolism. But because you're not drinking water for 6 to 8 hours, everything inside you becomes concentrated. Your blood thickens slightly. Cellular debris, metabolic waste, concentrated urine, all of it sits there waiting to be flushed out. By morning, you're not just thirsty. You're internally congested. Dr. Shinya recommended starting every single day with 1 to 2 glasses of warm or room temperature water. That's about 500 to 750 milliliters. Not coffee, not tea, not juice. Pure water. And this has to happen before anything else touches your lips. In his view, this wasn't just hydration. It was a wake-up call for your entire digestive system. That first rush of water rehydrates your cells, activates intestinal movement, and gives your body the signal to begin its internal housekeeping. Think of it like turning on a gentle stream that washes away everything that accumulated overnight. Your circulation restarts, your organs get the fluid they need to function, and most importantly, your enzymes get activated. Many of Dr. Shinya's patients who adopted this morning ritual reported clearer skin, better digestion, and energy that lasted the entire day. Benefits he consistently saw in people who lived long, healthy lives. Now here's the part that might surprise you. Dr. Shinya suggested drinking this water right after you wake up, even before brushing your teeth. Some natural health practitioners believe the beneficial bacteria in your mouth overnight can actually support digestion when swallowed with that first glass of water. Controversial, yes, but many who tried it felt the difference. If that's too much for you, brush first, but the rule stays the same. Water before coffee, before food, before anything else. This is the moment your enzyme battery gets its first charge of the day. But timing isn't just about the morning. It's about rhythm. And this brings us to one of the most common mistakes people make. The flood and drought cycle. You know the pattern. You go all morning without drinking. You get busy, forget your water bottle, and by 3 p.m. you realize you haven't had a sip all day. So you grab a liter bottle and chug the whole thing in 5 minutes, thinking you're catching up. You just flooded your kidneys. Your kidneys are incredible organs, but they have a processing limit. They can filter about 0.8 to 1 liter of water per hour, maybe slightly more if you're very active. When you dump a massive amount of water into your system all at once, your kidneys can't keep up. The excess water dilutes your blood sodium levels too quickly, and in extreme cases, this can lead to a dangerous condition called hyponatremia, or water intoxication. Your cells swell, you feel nauseous, confused, and your body goes into crisis mode trying to rebalance itself. Even in less extreme cases, that sudden flood forces your body to pull enzymes and energy from other systems just to process the overload. Dr. Shinya's approach was the opposite. He believed in turning hydration into a continuous, gentle flow throughout the day. Not tsunamis, but a steady stream. Drink a glass in the morning, sip throughout mid-morning, another glass before lunch, small amounts in the afternoon, and so on. Think of it like watering a plant. If you use drip irrigation, the water seeps deep into the soil where the roots can absorb it. But if you dump an entire bucket at once, most of it runs off the surface and the plant stays thirsty. Your cells are the same. They need consistent hydration, not occasional floods. If you just realized you've been abusing your kidneys for years with this flood and drought pattern, go ahead and hit that like button. Because we're about to fix it together, starting right now. Now let's talk about something Americans do every single day that Dr. Shinya considered one of the worst enzyme killers. Ice water. Walk into any restaurant in America and what's the first thing they bring you? A tall glass filled to the brim with ice cubes and freezing cold water. We've been trained to think this is refreshing, healthy even. Dr. Shinya saw it differently. To him, that glass of ice water was an enzyme assassin. Here's what happens inside your body when you drink ice-cold water, especially near meals. Your stomach operates best at around 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, the same as your core body temperature. Your digestive enzymes are specifically designed to work in this warm, controlled environment. When you pour ice water into your stomach, you're forcing your body to spend enormous amounts of energy just bringing that water up to a usable temperature. But that's not the worst part. Cold water causes your blood vessels to constrict. This slows down circulation and makes it harder for nutrients to reach your cells. Even worse, if there's any fat in the food you're eating, cold water can cause it to solidify and clump together, making digestion even more difficult. Your enzymes, which are already struggling in this suddenly cold environment, now have to work overtime to break down these hardened fats. Dr. Shinya observed this in his clinical work. Patients who regularly drank cold water, especially with meals, often had sluggish digestion, more inflammation, and weaker immune responses. The Japanese understand this intuitively. Walk into any traditional Japanese restaurant and they'll serve you warm tea or room temperature water, never ice. This isn't just culture. It's biology. Warm or room temperature water supports enzyme activity instead of suppressing it. It keeps your digestive system in its optimal working range, somewhere between 98 and 104 degrees Fahrenheit. This is why many Japanese people maintain flat stomachs and strong immune systems well into old age. They're not fighting against their own biology with every sip. The shift Dr. Shinya recommended is simple. Stop drinking cold water. Start drinking warm or room temperature water throughout the day. If you're used to ice water, this might feel strange at first, but your body will thank you. Within weeks, many of his patients noticed better digestion, less bloating, and more consistent energy. Your enzymes can finally do their job without constantly fighting the cold. But temperature isn't the only thing that matters. The quality of the water itself is just as critical. And here's where things get interesting. Dr. Shinya believed that most of the water people drink is what he called dead water. Tap water that's been heavily chlorinated, then boiled to remove impurities, might be safe to drink, but according to him, it's lost something essential. It's stripped of its natural mineral content and its ability to support cellular function. So what makes water truly good water? Dr. Shinya had specific criteria. First, it needs to be clean. No chlorine, no heavy metals, no chemical residues. These substances interfere with enzyme function and add to your body's toxic load. Second, it needs to contain trace minerals, especially magnesium and calcium. These aren't just nice to have. They're essential for enzyme activation and cellular communication. Your body can't create these minerals on its own. You have to get them from food or water. Third, the water should be slightly alkaline. Dr. Shinya believed that most modern diets create excess acidity in the body, and alkaline water helps neutralize that acid, reducing inflammation and supporting enzyme activity. Now I know what you're thinking. Where am I supposed to find this perfect water? The good news is you don't need expensive equipment or special imports. Dr. Shinya offered simple, practical solutions. If you're using tap water, filter it to remove chlorine and contaminants. Then, remineralize it. You can add a tiny pinch of high-quality sea salt or a few drops of trace mineral solution. Or, if you want the simplest option, squeeze fresh lemon into your water. Lemon might taste acidic, but once metabolized, it actually creates an alkaline effect in your body. It also adds natural enzymes and vitamin C. This small adjustment transforms ordinary water into something your cells can actually use for repair and regeneration. So how do you take all this complex theory and turn it into something that fits into a busy, real-life day? What does this actually look like when you're rushing to work, managing family, and trying to stay healthy? In the next section, I'm going to walk you through 7 simple steps to live like a Japanese centenarian, no matter where you are in the world. Here are the 7 simple habits that can transform how your body uses water to preserve enzymes and extend your healthy years. First, invest in your water source. This doesn't mean buying expensive bottled water from exotic islands. It means getting a quality filter for your tap water or choosing natural spring water that still contains trace minerals. Your body deserves clean fuel. Second, boost it with vitamin C. Add a squeeze of fresh lemon or a slice of orange to your morning water. This isn't just for flavor. Citrus contains natural enzymes and vitamin C that help activate your own enzyme systems, giving your cells an extra spark to start the day. Third, embrace green tea. If you're reaching for coffee in the afternoon, try switching to green tea instead. Green tea contains catechins, powerful antioxidants that protect your enzymes from oxidative damage. The Japanese have been doing this for centuries, and research shows it's one of the reasons they maintain such sharp mental clarity into old age. Fourth, check the temperature every single time. Make it a habit. Before you take that sip, ask yourself, is this water warm or at least room temperature? If it's cold, let it sit, warm it up, or choose a different option. This one habit alone can change how efficiently your body digests and absorbs nutrients. Fifth, carry your own bottle. This might sound obvious, but it's a visual reminder. When you have a reusable water bottle with you, you're far more likely to sip consistently throughout the day instead of relying on whatever's available. Choose glass or stainless steel if possible. Plastic can leach chemicals, especially when exposed to heat, and those chemicals interfere with enzyme function. Sixth, master the timing. This is where everything comes together. Drink water at least 30 minutes to an hour before meals. Sip lightly during meals if you absolutely must, but ideally, let your digestive system work without dilution. Then wait at least an hour after eating before drinking again. This rhythm allows your enzymes to do their job without interruption. And seventh, drink with mindfulness. This might sound spiritual, but Dr. Shinya believed it mattered. When you drink, don't just gulp it down mindlessly while scrolling through your phone. Pause. Feel the water enter your mouth. Notice the temperature. Imagine it traveling down into your stomach, spreading through your cells, activating your enzymes, flushing toxins, bringing life to every corner of your body. This conscious connection changes your relationship with hydration. You stop seeing it as a chore and start experiencing it as an act of self-care. Let me bring this full circle. We started with a simple realization. I thought drinking 8 glasses of plain water was enough, and I was wrong. That ignorance kept me inflamed and exhausted for years. Then I found Dr. Shinya's method. I stopped drinking ice water. I started my mornings with warm water on an empty stomach. I learned to respect the timing, to honor my body's enzyme rhythm. And within weeks, everything shifted. My chronic inflammation disappeared. My energy became steady and strong. My doctor ran the tests again and couldn't believe the results. No pills, no extreme diets, just water drunk the right way. But Dr. Shinya wasn't just teaching people how to drink water. He was teaching us how to preserve the most valuable resource we have: our enzyme reserve. Think of it as your life savings account. Every time you make a choice that protects your enzymes, you're making a deposit. Every time you ignore the principles, drinking cold water with meals, flooding your kidneys, dehydrating all day and binging at night, you're making a withdrawal. And unlike money, you can't just earn more enzymes. You're born with a certain potential, and how you live determines how long that potential lasts. The Japanese understand this. They don't see aging as a disease to fight with medication. They see it as a natural process that requires gentleness, respect, and small daily rituals. Hydration is one of those rituals. When you protect your enzymes, you're protecting your lifespan, your energy, your clarity, and your vitality. So here's my question for you. What habit will you start tomorrow morning? Will it be that first glass of warm water before anything else touches your lips? Will it be finally letting go of ice water and giving your body the temperature it needs to thrive? Whatever you choose, commit to it in the comments below. Say it out loud. Make it real. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.